On June 29, 2007, Apple released the first iPhone, also known as iPhone 2G or the original iPhone. It was Apple's first smartphone. It marked a significant turning point in the mobile phone industry. Before the launch of the original iPhone in 2007, phones were designed primarily with physical buttons, smaller screens, and unique form factors that varied greatly between models and brands. The iPhone revolutionized the industry by introducing a sleek design, capacitive touchscreen, and a user-friendly interface. It has a sleek and minimalist design with an aluminum back and black plastic bottom, a single home button at the front, complemented with a 3.5-inch multi-touch capacitive display with a resolution of 320 by 480 pixels. It was launched with iPhone OS 1, which was later renamed as iOS. It features single 12-megapixel rear camera, no video recording or front-facing camera. It is powered by a 412 MHz ARM11 processor with 128 MB of RAM. It was initially available in 4 GB and 8 GB of internal storage, and the 16 GB variant was later released. The starting price of the original iPhone was $499. In 2008, we have the iPhone 3G. It was the second generation of iPhone's iconic smartphone. It offers 3G connectivity with dramatically improved internet speed. It was the first iPhone to launch with the App Store. The design remained similar to the original iPhone, but the iPhone 3G introduced a plastic back, making it lighter and more affordable. The iPhone 3GS, which was released in June 2009, was the third iteration of Apple's iPhone lineup and built upon the success of the iPhone 3G. The S in 3GS stands for speed, as the device introduced several performance improvements and new features that made it a more capable and faster phone compared to its predecessor. The iPhone 3GS was powered by a faster 600 MHz ARM Cortex-A8 processor, and it had 256 MB of RAM, making it significantly faster than the 3G. It offered up to 32 GB of internal storage, doubling the maximum capability available in the iPhone 3G, which had a maximum of 16 GB. The iPhone 3GS introduced a 3-megapixel rear camera. The new camera included features such as autofocus and auto-white balance, and the ability to record video at 30 frames per second, which was a groundbreaking addition at the time, because that was the first year an iPhone could record a video. The iPhone 3GS also added voice control, allowing users to make calls, play music, and control other phone functions simply by speaking commands. iPhone 4 was released in June 2010. It was the fourth generation of Apple's iPhone lineup, and it marked a significant design and technological leap forward. It was the first iPhone to feature a high-resolution Retina display and a completely new design that combined glass and stainless steel. It featured a glass front and back with a stainless steel frame that doubled as an antenna. Upon release, the iPhone 4 faced some controversy due to signal reception issues. Users who hid their phone in certain way by covering the stainless steel antenna band experienced poor signal reception or dropped calls. Apple responded by offering free cases to mitigate the issue. The iPhone 4 featured 5-megapixel rear camera with LED flash and HD video recording at 720p, and this was the first iPhone with a selfie camera. The front camera was upgraded to a VGA resolution of 0.3 megapixel, enabling FaceTime. It was also the first iPhone to be powered by Apple's branded chip, the A4 chip, with 512 MB of RAM. The iPhone 4 runs on iOS 4, which introduced multitasking for the first time on an iPhone. This allowed users to switch between apps more easily without having to close one app to open another, making the experience more fluid and productive. The iPhone 4S was released in October 2011. It was the fifth generation of Apple's iPhone lineup and an incremental upgrade over the iPhone 4. The design remained the same, but the iPhone 4S introduced several important features and improvements that made it a major step forward, especially in terms of performance, camera capabilities, and software. One of the most notable features of the iPhone 4S was the introduction of Siri. The iPhone 4S was powered by the A5 chip, a dual-core processor that provided a significant performance boost over the single-core A4 chip found in the iPhone 4. This made the iPhone 4S noticeably faster in terms of app performance, gaming, and web browsing. The device also included 512 MB of RAM, which improved multitasking and overall app handling. The iPhone 4S featured an upgraded 8-megapixel rear camera. It also supported 1080p HD video recording, offering higher video quality. The iPhone 4S was launched with iOS 5, which brought many new features, including iMessage and iCloud. The iPhone 4S also addressed the antenna issues that affected the iPhone 4 by improving its antenna design for better signal. The following year, we have the iPhone 5, which was the sixth generation of Apple's iPhone lineup. The iPhone 5 was the first iPhone to feature a 4-inch Retina display, a noticeable increase in screen size from the 3.5-inch display found on earlier models. iPhone 5 introduced the Lightning connector, a smaller and reversible connector that replaced the 30-pin connector used in previous iPhones. In 2013, there were two iPhones from Apple, the iPhone 5S and iPhone 5C, both released in September. The iPhone 5S was the flagship model, while the iPhone 5C was designed as a more affordable alternative. 2013 was the year Apple introduced Touch ID into the iPhone. The iPhone 5C was Apple's first real attempt at creating a more affordable iPhone without compromising too much on performance. We also have two models of iPhone from Apple in 2014, the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus. The iPhone 6 featured a 4.7-inch display. The iPhone 6 Plus, on the other hand, had a 5.5-inch display, making it the largest iPhone screen size at the time. They now moved the power button from the top to the side of the phone because of the large screen. This was the first iPhone with a camera bump. The iPhone 6 and 6 Plus were thinner than the previous models. The new designs were slicker and lighter, with rounded edges. The body was made of aluminum. Both the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus were powered by the A8 chip. The iPhone 6 was the best-selling, most popular phone ever made, with over 4 million plus units of this device sold on the first day of release, and over 220 million units of total iPhone 6 and 6 Plus sold. The following year, Apple released the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. They were the ninth generation of iPhones. While their designs were largely similar to the previous generation, the iPhone 6s series brought improvements in performance, camera technology, and user experience, alongside the introduction of new features like 3D Touch, a feature that allows the screen to respond to different levels of pressure. Apple introduced a new, more durable material for the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, which was stronger and less prone to bending compared to the aluminum used in iPhone 6. This change made in the design of the iPhone 6s series addressed the bend gauge controversy, where the iPhone 6 was criticized for being more susceptible to bending under pressure. The iPhone 6s and 6s Plus were powered by the A9 chip. The rear camera was upgraded to 12 megapixel sensor, while the front-facing camera was upgraded to 5 megapixels. Both models supported features like live photos. Before the release of the iPhone 7 series in 2016, the first generation of iPhone SE was released in March of 2016 and was targeted at users who preferred a smaller device but still wanted modern performance. It was a revised version of iPhone 5s, incorporating the A9 chip and other updated features from the iPhone 6s, but keeping the 4-inch display from the older iPhone models. Then we have the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, which were released in September 2016. The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus maintained a similar design to the iPhone 6s. Both models were IP67 water resistant rating, which means the device could withstand immersion in water up to 1 meter for 30 minutes without damage. We are now on Apple's A10 chip on the iPhone 7 series. The iPhone 7 featured a single 12 megapixel rear camera. The iPhone 7 Plus introduced the dual lens camera system with two 12 megapixel sensors, one standard wide angle lens and a telephoto lens, enabling 2x optical zoom and portrait mode. This is the first year Apple introduced dual camera to the iPhone. 2016 is also the year Apple decided to remove the headphone jack from the iPhone. Apple also made some changes to the home button. The traditional mechanical home button was replaced with a solid state button that used haptic feedback to simulate a click-like sensation. In 2017, Apple released 3 new models of iPhone: the iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus, and iPhone 10. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus kept the design elements from the iPhone 7 series. However, Apple introduced a new glass back to enable wireless charging. The iPhone 8 series were powered by the A11 Bionic chip. Immediately after the iPhone 8 series were announced, Apple introduced the iPhone 10. The iPhone 10 was a significant change over the previous iPhones. It was the first iPhone to feature an OLED display. It offered better contrast ratio, deeper blacks, and more vibrant colors compared to the LCD displays used in previous models. The display stretched from edge to edge with a 5.8-inch screen size. With the iPhone 10, Apple completely removed the physical home button. Navigation was now done through gestures on the screen. One of the most significant innovations in the iPhone 10 was the introduction of the Face ID. The true depth camera system on the front used advanced infrared sensors, dot projection, and machine learning to accurately recognize and map a user's face for authentication. Face ID replaced Touch ID for unlocking the device. We now have notch at the top and very thin bezels. The iPhone 10 was also powered by the A11 Bionic chip. The iPhone 10 featured a dual 12 megapixel rear camera system similar to the iPhone 8 Plus. The iPhone 10 was priced higher than its predecessors, starting at $1,000 for the 16GB model. This marked the first time an iPhone crossed the $1,000 price mark. In 2018, the iPhone XS, iPhone XS Max, and iPhone XR were released. These models marked a continuation of Apple's trend towards larger screen, better performance, and advanced camera features. The iPhone XS and XS Max were premium models with OLED displays and high-end features, while the iPhone XR offered a more affordable alternative with a variant of color options. The iPhone XS and XS Max were built upon the design of the iPhone 10. They featured more powerful hardware, improved cameras, and larger screen size. The iPhone XS and XS Max were powered by the A12 Bionic chip, which was Apple's first 7nm chip. Both the iPhone 10 and XS Max still had a 12 megapixel dual camera as the previous year's iPhone. Smart HDR was introduced, which helped create more balanced photos, especially in challenging lighting conditions, by combining multiple exposures into one image. The front camera was 7 megapixels and it supported portrait mode. The iPhone XS and XS Max were launched with iOS 12. The iPhone XR, on the other hand, was released in October 2018 as a more affordable option compared to the iPhone XS and XS Max. It featured a liquid retina LCD display. Like the iPhone XS models, the iPhone XR was powered by the A12 Bionic chip. The iPhone XR had a 12 megapixel rear camera and it supported portrait mode with a single lens using machine learning for depth control. It also featured Smart HDR for better photo quality in challenging lighting conditions. In 2019, we also had 3 models of iPhones from Apple. The iPhone 11 was the most affordable option in the 2019 lineup, replacing the iPhone XR from the previous year. It offered many of the high-end features of the iPhone 11 Pro at a more budget-friendly price. The iPhone 11 retained the 6.1-inch liquid retina HD LCD display from the iPhone XR. iPhone 11 series were powered by A13 Bionic chip. The iPhone 11 Pro models featured a triple camera system, the first of its kind in an iPhone. They included a 12 megapixel wide lens with optical image stabilization, a 12 megapixel telephoto lens with 2x optical zoom, allowing for close-up shots without losing detail, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens with a 120-degree field of view. The iPhone 12 Pro and Pro Max supported MagSafe, which allows users to attach varieties of accessories easily, including MagSafe chargers, wallets, and cases at the back of the phone. And this was the year Apple decided not to include charger in the box. In 2021, Apple introduced the iPhone 13 series. The lineup announced on September 14, 2021 also included 4 models that catered to a wide range of users. The iPhone 13 series maintained the same design as the iPhone 12 series, with slightly larger camera modules to accommodate advanced optics. The rear cameras of the base models were arranged diagonally. We now have smoother 120 Hz refresh rate on the Pro models of the iPhone 13. Both iPhone 13 mini and iPhone 13 featured dual 12 megapixel wide and ultra wide cameras. Cinematic mode was introduced into the iPhone 13 series, which enabled professional style video with a focus on subjects. The Pro model of the iPhone 13 featured macro photography. Across all models, battery performance was significantly better than the iPhone 12 series. The A15 Bionic chip in the iPhone 13 series delivered faster performance and improved power efficiency. The Face ID notch was reduced by 20%, giving slightly more screen real estate. In 2022, Apple released the third generation of iPhone SE and iPhone 14 series. Apple discontinued the mini version, replacing it with the larger iPhone 14 Plus. The base model of the iPhone 14 were powered by the A15 Bionic chip from the iPhone 13 Pro models. The main camera was upgraded to 12 megapixel with improved low light performance. The notches were replaced with dynamic island in the Pro models of iPhone 14. The Pro model of iPhone 14 were powered by the new A16 Bionic chip, built on a 4nm process for improved efficiency and performance. The main camera was upgraded to a 48 megapixel main camera. Advanced computational photography, features like photonic engine for better low light performance was also introduced. In 2023, we have the iPhone 15 series during Apple's annual event in September. This lineup also included 4 models as the 14 series. The dynamic island features, which was previously excluded to the Pro models, became standard on the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus. Apple transitioned from Lightning ports to USB-C across all models due to European regulations. The base model of iPhone 15 featured the A16 Bionic chip, which was used in the iPhone 14 Pro models. The Pro models of iPhone 15 adopted the titanium frame, making them lighter and more durable than the previous stainless steel models. They introduced the A17 Bionic chip, the first iPhone processor built on 3nm process, promising better performance and energy efficiency. The mute switch at the upright corners of every other iPhones was replaced with a customizable action button, which can be programmed for various functions. The iPhone 15 Pro Max featured a 5x optical zoom compared to 3x on the Pro, making the introduction of the periscope telephoto lens. The USB-C port on the Pro models supported USB 3.0 speeds for faster data transfer. In 2024, Apple introduced the iPhone 16 series. The camera layout on the iPhone 16 base model has returned to a vertical alignment, reminiscent of the iPhone 11. The base iPhone 16 were powered by the new A18 chip as the Pro model. Apple introduced camera control, a new button on the right side that allows users to quickly access camera features and capture photos or video with varying press intensities. Apple also introduced Apple Intelligence into the iPhone.